Hey, that's a soda pop from Soda Hughes, and you are watching the MOLOCH channel, and today we're doing part 3, so if you haven't already seen part 1 and 2, maybe go check out those first two, because it's a 3-book slipcase of Hokusai Manga by Thames and Hudson. And we got another cool cover. This is the 3rd book, Flights of Fancy. So we're going to get a look at some mystical things, some bizarre things, I'd imagine. I'm excited. The book is... she got her nose pulled by a string. This is going to be fun. The book is kind of cheaper quality and very small. So I'm trying to be delicate with it while also hold it open for you guys. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way, but it's a really small book. A compendium of craziness. Yes. That's hilarious. I think that's like a carrot or some sort of underground plant. Sometimes they do kind of look like legs. A lot of this stuff that I'm seeing already kind of makes me think of Katsuya Terada, which in turn greatly influenced I don't know how much of it. At least The Legend of Zelda, of course. But a lot of other Japanese media, I feel like it makes me think of a lot of the work of Katsuya Terada. And I wonder how much of that came from this, but then it also makes me wonder how much of this came from other places. What were the books and things that Hokusai liked and was looking at, besides real life? Man, I'd love to own a mansion someday. And just have rooms filled with Hokusai prints. That is one of the things I love about books. It is almost kind of like a compact physical space. A gallery or a gentleman's hang, all compressed into one brick you can just hold in your hands and take with you. League of Legends. I think I remember reading somewhere that there was like a specific ukiyo-e school, like there are a couple schools of like how you draw hands and faces, and that Hokusai disagreed with one of the predominant ones. And that's part of what made him very, I guess, distinguished at the time. That's awesome. I also think I remember reading that it might be speculated that Hokusai created around 30,000 works in his lifetime. I think I was reading that he said that he was interested in representing the form of things since he was 6 years old. And that as a child he worked in a bookmaking and book lending shop. A man after my own heart. That's wonderful. I guess he worked until he died at age 88, I think was what I remember reading. If I'm wrong about any of this, I'm sorry, just correct me in the comments. I think I was reading things where he would say, like, he felt like he was just barely getting the hang of, you know, people and plants and animals. And he would consistently say when he kind of could tell that he was getting old and that death might be knocking on the door, that he would just really hope for, you know, 5 more years, 10 more years to consider, to continue learning and growing as an artist. I think that one was maybe in one of the earlier books. And just keep getting better at, you know, representing the world around him. Which I think is awesome and admirable, and I totally understand the feeling. And it's something I hear from a lot of artists who are often considered masters, like Kim Jung-gi. Listening to interviews, some people think he's, you know, this phenom god who's made it. And he is extremely talented and masterful. And he's drawn a shit ton, but like a deluge of deities. But in a lot of interviews, he's always talking about, you know, this is something I'd like to do. This is something I'm not that good at. I've still got a lot to learn. I think that's one of the wonderful things about an artist is it does provide a journey. And it's a journey with, I don't know, is there truly an end to that journey? I don't know. I feel like that definitely does give you the opportunity to have something that would be worth begging for 5 or 10 more years to keep trying to get better and resolve the things you want in your art. I think that's in some way how art is, you know, kind of saved my life too. Just because, you know, I used to be Mormon. I was raised that way. I was born in Utah. And, yeah, when I gave that up and I decided I just couldn't believe it anymore and I disagreed with all... Yeah, it was tough because it carries with it a culture, a community, an entire way of looking at life and the world that, you know, all of a sudden I became detached from, and it felt like a big portion of what I had dedicated my life to, and you know, my identity was just erased, and that's a tough thing. Anyone who has either left a religion or a cult probably has felt something like that. But kind of this journey that I'm experiencing in terms of art and design definitely helps me keep going, and it does instill kind of a different kind of purpose. and it helps me kind of just appreciate certain things that make it easier to, keep going and to remain active. Because that is one of the appeals of cults and religions, aside from the community, that I feel like is often overlooked as, such an attractive thing to humans, which is why some of those things can become so successful. And, I can see why people are seduced by it. And it is really hard when you don't have it anymore. But I feel like art definitely helps me with that. And that's not to bag on anyone who is currently in a religion. As long as you don't oppress other people, I do believe you should be free to do your thing. But I feel like unless I receive some more information or experiences that lead me to choose a different path right now, that stuff is just not in my path for now. But yeah, that was Flights of Fancy, the third book in this slipcase. There we have 3. Very wonderful. I think it was about $35, which is not that much. I mean, of course, the quality of paper and pages was a little low. The folding of the slipcase sometimes makes it a little bit tough to put the book in there. So I'll have to figure that out later. But I would definitely say it's worth it for the art, especially considering a lot of other ways to get these kinds of books are often international, and there's a ton of costs and sometimes cryptic customs costs that you got to go through. And the imagery, there's so much, it's so wonderful, it's so inspiring. So if you're interested and can get your hands on this book, I would definitely suggest it. Just know it is small, and the quality of the paper and paperwork isn't optimal, but it does come at a low cost if it's still available somewhere out there. Thank you for watching this video or these videos, and I hope to see you again. Be sure to check out my Patreon. Make sure you support the channel, like, subscribe, so we can keep doing this and keep going on our art journey. Thank you, and I hope to see you guys later. Take care.
You're such a